The purpose of looking at the future is to distill. Good evening and welcome. This is Face the Nation. We're extremely sorry for the technical difficulty we had to face a couple of minutes ago. Face the Nation was delayed by around 15 minutes because of an issue with regard to the audio that we were facing at present. So I'm very, very sorry and apologize on behalf of the team here at TV1. But the good news is we're back on the saddle. We have 4 guests invited to the studios this evening. Chandima Hettiarachchi, Member of Parliament from the National People's Power. Anuradha Wimalaratne from the SJB. Milinda Rajapaksa from the SLPP, as well as Dr. Kithsiri Manchanayake from the UNP. To pose questions from our panelists, on the immediate right is Newsfirst, Consultant Director at Newsfirst. Without further ado, let's get the ball rolling today with Chandima Hettiarachchi, Member of Parliament from the National People's Power. Chandima, if you look at the situation right now plaguing the country, many are in fear. In your opinion, what measures have you all taken as a state in power to address the problems at hand with regard to the murders that have taken place in Sri Lanka in broad daylight?
Thank you very much for inviting us. Okay, the question. Actually, ministry, the Public Security Ministry is now gathering their forces, and the Ministry of Defence as well, working together to contain the situation. So this is crime, this is act of criminals. So that's where we stand, that's where we interpret the situation. So as a government, so we are trying to contain, and we will contain the situation.
Chandima, if you look at the situation that is present, many from the opposition quarters have told the government that national security is under threat. Now, you say that this is a criminal activity that is taking place. What is happening with the State Intelligence Service at the moment? What is their role? What is their responsibility? Because we saw a similar issue in 2019, 21st of April, when the intelligence sources were clearly informed of the situation. They went rogue. There was nothing that happened. As a result of that, the lives of over 250 plus individuals were gone, just like that. But we are seeing a similar situation right now as well. National security under threat.
Yeah, national security, when it comes to national security, national security means borders, actually the sovereignty of the country. This is not something like that.
What is this then?
This is actually the criminals are fighting on streets and shooting at courts. So these are criminals.
Isn't it the responsibility of the government to solve this matter?
It is, and we will, and we have took this in very serious manner, not very lightly. So very serious manner. So we will definitely contain this. So when it comes to intelligence, there are now inquiries going on. What has happened really? Why did this person came into this court, and why to this hole? And so many problems came up. So you have reported those things in your news. So I think and I know that these investigations are taking place now to find out what is really happened. So we will not let this go like 2019. So we will definitely investigate and find out who are the responsibles. You may have seen, you may have heard, there's some police officers taken into custody.
I want to talk about just prior to Anuradha Wimalaratne becoming the president, when the murders in Athuragiriya took place. One of the gang leaders were murdered in broad daylight in Athuragiriya. Anuradha Wimalaratne, speaking at a political fora, said under his rule nothing of this sort will take place. But just the last 2 weeks, so many murders.
Yeah, that's true. And some...
When you say, Chandima, that's true, what does it mean? I just want to understand. Are you accepting that national security is under threat?
No, no, that's, you said the incidents took place. Yeah, that's true. The incidents took place. So some baggages, some weight that we are taking from previous situations, previous rulers. So we have to understand that as well. So we can't just stop them right now. You're just after just stop. Then you can say just stop. Nothing will stop. So those situations.
I'm sorry, I don't understand. What do you mean by that? Are you saying that you all can't stop this?
No, no, I'm not saying that we can't stop. It is a process of making things happen.
Okay, how long will this process take?
Yeah, it will take some time, but we have to consult.
Are you saying the entire 5 years of tenure of the NPP it's going to be?
For sure, I can make sure it will not take 5 years. But
how long will it take?
To give you a proper answer for the in security concerns, it's the expertise with the minister. So then I have to consult him. But fair enough time.
One of the
allegations
leveled at the NPP is the fact that you all are asking for a lot of time to implement matters. Now I can tell you a classic example. We had on this very show during the general elections, Chaturanga Abhisingha, who is now one of our deputy ministers, who came and said the threshold of the taxation process will be increased from 100,000 to 200,000.
Yes.
Then he said the slab on the 36% increase on taxes will be widespread at 500,000 to 750,000. So nothing of this sort has happened in the country as we speak. How much of time do you all want?
So you see,
how much of time do you all want to bring down the country's electricity by 30 to 40%? So how much of time do you all want to put a stop to the national security issues that are faced by the country? Yes. How long does it take for you all to have Kiri Samba in the market? Yeah. How long will it take for you all to solve the problem with regard to coconuts in the country? How long does all this take?
Yeah, that's a nice question. So just see how long we have been in the power. It's just 90 plus days. 90 plus days. So we have a huge.
After
I'm in the government. I'm in the government, the parliament.
General election.
Yeah, from the 21st of November. So and here we have a huge load of questions. They are very old questions. They are 76 years old questions.
Yeah.
So those are not simple to sort out. So we have started with our budget. We have started with under our rule. So we have started to solve these issues.
But how long? Give us a time frame. Now, if you are asked, Chandima, as a government member of parliament, yes. you are a government member of yes. parliament. How long will it take for you all to solve the national security issue? Do you first of all believe there is a national security
No
issue?
National security threat.
What is the issue? What is the issue?
It's a crime. It's crime.
Crime?
Yeah, it's crime. The criminals are fighting here. Those are crimes.
So who is supposed to stop crimes in the country?
The public security minister and his ministry, the police. So they are working hard to stop this.
So it's not a government problem?
It's a government problem. Otherwise, the minister won't be involving it. Okay.
I just want to ask you a very simple question before I move to Anuradha. Now, even when the Deputy Minister of Law and Order was at courts, he was shouting at his driver, trying to figure out where he should go. I'm trying to figure out a Deputy Minister who does not even know where his driver is. How competent would he be to handle the country's security matters?
Okay, actually, for the incident...
No, I'm just asking about this very simple question. How competent is the Deputy Minister of Public Security when he can't find his own driver at a crime scene? How competent is he to handle public security in the country?
Yeah, if you are trying to gauge his competence with that incident, it was chaos at that time. So even a security expert will get confused in those times.
Do you believe because of that reason every parliamentarian and every minister in the country has to be given adequate security?
I think it is not necessary because we are not under threat here. So no one is threatening our lives here.
Parliamentarians may not be under threat, but public, of course, is under threat.
Yeah, we are also public, right? So we are not under any threat. So why we are looking at, so I don't know, some opposition members of parliament.
So why did you give security to several journalists?
Sorry?
Why do you give security to several journalists if public is not under threat?
Sorry, I didn't get.
Why did you give security to several journalists?
Those are requests, right? Some are requested.
So you all,
then
Mahinda Rajapaksa also has made a request for his security, but you all don't seem to be listening to that.
Let me finish this. Some MPs, opposition MPs, requested the secretaries to tighten up from Speaker, Honorable Speaker. So that has been passed to Ministry. And you said, Mr. President, Mahinda Rajapaksha, it was entitled, right?
It was what?
It was entitled.
Entitled.
Okay. Some amount of security is entitled. It depends on the security assessment. So then it has to be given.
Right. Thanks a lot, Chandima Hettiarachchi. The show is currently being recorded and will be aired in the next coming couple of days. So I just want to move my attention towards Milinda to Anuradha Wimalaratne from the SJB. Anuradha, just make us a little bit cognizant about the talks between the UNP and the SJB at the moment.
First of all, thank you for having me, Shamir and Niresh. It's great to be back after a few months. UNP and SJB. Well, there are talks and there are many opinions in both camps about the union. Then, there's some bad blood from back then that's maybe hindering the progress. But overall, I think it's a good move if we can come together. But there are a lot of small nitty-gritties, I think, that needs to be worked out before we can actually go there. But I think the thing here now is, who cares what the SJB and the UMP is doing, right?
People are very worried.
I liked what you asked him. What's happening to this country and the road ahead, right?
We'll come back to that momentarily because we have several other rounds as well, Anuradha. But just to get some clarity, now you came on this very show in December, right after the general elections, and you came on the show. I asked you a question as to who is going to be your nationalist parliamentarians, and at that time you all had not made a choice. And then you said you would also be willing to come as a nationalist parliamentarian if given the opportunity. And Sujiva Senasingam was appointed from the side of the SJB. Hirudaka Premachandra, who championed the Aragale at that time from the SJB side, was cornered. How do you view this situation?
I think it was a very tricky situation
you all seem to be falling under a lot of tricks, no?
Well, politics is like that, it's not a clear-cut black and white thing. There's a lot of things to be considered, and I think our leadership made the best out of a bad situation there. I think I do believe that Hirunika and some key members should have been in parliament and they should have gone in through the list, because we are in the opposition, right? We need fighters who can actually voice the public concerns in parliament in a way that it will be heard. So I don't think Sujiva was a good pick, but what happened there was I think party didn't want to open that can of worms of bringing in people who lost, because then see, everyone who lost has a very good reason why they should be taken into parliament.
Who takes the decisions within the SJB?
The management committee.
The management committee.
Management committee, working committee. It's a combined effort.
So this management committee consists of how many people?
Well, working committee is there. We have about 120 working committee members.
120 working committee members.
Yeah.
So 120 working committee members, but ultimately the decision lies with who?
Ultimately, the party leader and the party secretary.
Party leader and the party secretary. So party leader and the party secretary can't decide on the number of seats that you all want to be appointed through the national list.
This is the thing, Shamil, because we lost the election. We lost the election.
We all know that.
Yeah, a very bad way, right? So
we all know that.
Yeah,
don't have to be reminded.
Yeah,
over and over
exactly.
again.
You know, we don't want to be reminded of it either, but you know that's a fact. So to keep things in order, because you know, like when you lose, everything becomes a bit of a shamble. You know, there might be, you know, coups coming up, and you know, all these things can happen. So I think
Who's coming up? What does that?
you know, there are these talks of, you know, leadership needs to change, and you know, like the usual thing that happens after an election loss. So to balance all these things, I think you need to take some hard decisions, and some might not be the most popular decisions, but I think not bringing in anyone from the losing list was, I think, the right thing to do. Well, to avoid further problems.
Anuradha, you said hard decisions have to be taken now. Usually hard decisions have to be taken by many organizations when situations are not well. It refers to the parliament and politics as well. Tell me one hard decision that was taken by the SJB leadership after the defeat of the general elections and the presidential elections. One.
What do you mean? We are.
You said hard decisions have to be taken. I'm asking a very, very simple question. It was you who said hard decisions have to be taken, and I somewhat agree with you that hard decisions have to be taken after such a bad defeat at a presidential and a general election. So the question is, tell me one hard decision that was taken by the SJB after the two defeats.
Well, the party is going into a restructuring. Youngsters are being given more opportunity and further roles in the leadership. So I think, you know, that's one thing. You know, we are getting a lot of kickback from the old guard for that, but boss is doing it. So
tell me who this new young people who has been infused in the party leadership in the last 2 months?
No, not leadership as
you
such,
said
but
that.
no, but what they're, you know, we are getting more, what do you call, more participation and more responsibilities being given. You know, you see Harshana Rajakaruna is taking, you know, bit of a front seat now, and so that's a progressive thing. And then, you know, like I think most TV shows now, our youth is being sent, which is pretty good. So, and even in the restructuring, from what I see.
So, one final question, Anuradha. Yeah. Last time you came on the show, you said you all have learned a lesson from the last general election, and you all are reflecting on that. And then I asked you what this lesson is. You said you all are still looking for answers. Tell me, Anuradha, what's the lesson that you all learned from the last presidential and general election?
Actually,
no. What is the lesson?
Yeah, no. Looking at the past
2 elections,
no, past 3 months, I think the people of this country has learned the lesson.
No, Anuradha, we'll come back to that. First of all, when you're pointing one finger at someone, 4 fingers are pointed at you. So let's talk about the 4 fingers that are pointed at you. Will you first of all? After that, you all can debate and agree to disagree. I'm just asking you a very simple question. Tell me, what lesson did you all learn from the presidential and the general election?
From the presidential and general election, I think the biggest thing we learned is people of this country tend to, well, majority of this country tend to vote with their hearts and not their brains. And, you know, like mostly eloquent lies will win elections better than actual solid plans. That's the lesson we learned.
You all didn't learn the bitter lesson that leadership has to change.
I don't think the leadership should change. Why should the leadership change?
Right. Thanks a lot, Anuradha Wimalaratne from the SJB. I now move my attention towards Dr. Kithsiri Manchanayake from the UNP. As I said before, the program is now being recorded, but it's right directly to the tape, so there is no stoppage on the show. Just want to make it very clear to all the 4 gentlemen here. Dr. Kithsiri Manchanayake, now Anuradha said about bad blood, about a unity between the SJB and the UNP. Can you clarify this from the UNP side for me?
Right. First of all, I would like to thank for inviting me for this program, Shamir and Nilesh. Bad blood. I mean, probably any party have different views. People, there are different people, different views. In our party or the SJB, probably they may, some people like for the coalition, some people may not. But I feel that point, UNP point of view, where I can't see anybody. Everybody is for it. But that's why we appointed our General Secretary Thalata and Deputy Leader Ruwan Wijewardena to discuss with SJB team to come to some sort of agreement. Actually, not only for us, Shamit, this is from the people's wish. All the UNPs, SJBs and the grassroots bottom the level people wanted all these parties to come together, especially UNP to SJB. Probably that may happen in SLPP and the SLPP also. But that's why we from the grassroots level we are getting the message for us to tell the top leaders in these parties to come together. So we were.
I just want to understand, Ms. Kithsiri. Now, when you say top leaders of the party, the public are of the opinion that there are only two leaders of these parties. No, one is Ranil Wickremesinghe, the other one is Sajid Premadasa.
No, but I'm referring to the
like A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. Like
no, Shamit, this is not sole decision of Ranil Wickremesinghe or the Sajid Premadasa. There are some other top lead management committee, chairman of the party, general secretary of the party, treasurer, and there are
Kithsiri, also in the management committee of the UNP. You are among that 15 members, right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, correct.
So what is your opinion? Tell me.
So my opinion is we are for it. We wanted to come together.
Then who is
We're
against
trying
it?
hard.
Who is against it?
From not our side, that side.
From the SJB side.
That's what I feel. That's my feeling. That's the message I got from to the many.
SJB doesn't want to get together with the
exactly.
UNP. Not the UNP, not the other way
we
around.
are for it.
UNP is for it. Okay. So tell me, Kithsiri, what is Ranil Wickremesinghe doing these days? Because he told just a couple of weeks ago that he wants to travel, but I'm just trying to understand what is he doing now?
No, initially he traveled to India soon after the election defeat, and then he went to London, and again he went to Oman. He get a lot of invitation from the various institutions to come and have their keynote speech and so on and so forth. So that's why he's traveling it. So they are meeting some world leaders, they are meeting, and so that purpose is. But actually, you are correct. But he didn't involve in much party activities last Tuesday. They was given to the management committee and the deputy leader.
No, I disagree with you, because he met Maithripala Sirisena, who he couldn't see eye to eye 2 times.
Yeah.
What was that for?
That was even the last Thursday or last Monday. So soon after the management committee meeting, the leaders came, and before
what was this meeting about?
No, that was to how we can work together, all these parties, in for the coming election, whatever the municipality and the Pradya Sabha. So how we
Not that you all believe that this government will be toppled in the next few years.
Actually,
there will be a chance Ranil Wickremesinghe will come through the back door again.
No. It's a UNP policy. We don't want to topple this government. We wanted this government to run next 5 years. You know, Shamir, it's a bad practice. If we are trying to topple this government, we are getting 2/3 majority, right? If we or anybody is trying to topple the government, it's a bad practice for the future generation. So we wanted them to do a good job for the country. Then after 5 years, people will decide who to
if they do a good job, of course, job won't come into
power again. They are not doing a good job. That's a problem. But we want to make them correct. We want to criticize them, constructive criticism we want to do. But we don't want to topple the government. We want to. We are willing. We wish them to do the next 5 years and show their colors.
But no intention of Ranil Wickremesinghe coming to parliament again, no?
No.
Ravi Karunanak of Faisal Mustafa won't step down.
No.
Ravi Karunanak, of course, won't step down at all.
Even Faisal is not going to step down. Ranil is not going to. Ranil Wickremesinghe is not going to come to the parliament.
Right. This budget is Ranil Wickremesinghe's budget or Anuradha Wimalaratne's budget?
My feeling is not Ranil Wickremesinghe budget. If it is Ranil Wickremesinghe's budget, people will get more benefit. But even some other SJB members claiming that this is Ranil Wickremesinghe, but my personal feeling is not that. This is not actually, there's no any benefit for the people, right?
Ranil Wickremesinghe almost took us naked on the road.
But after that, he was given the dress of our clothes to all.
I don't know, Kithsiri,
down the road.
I don't know whether Kithsiri, whether you remember. He almost took all of our clothes. We had to walk naked. But now you're saying he's going to get benefits. I don't believe so. But that's okay. You're entitled to opinion.
Exactly.
Thanks a lot. Milinda Rajapaksa from the SLPP. Milinda, why are you laughing? You have to be scared.
I'm enjoying the conversation.
Milinda, you all have to be scared now.
Scared of what? Scared of what countries in?
Now let's look at the SLPP. Indictments have been issued on Namal Rajapaksa. Today, being a holiday, he was summoned to the CID. Yoshida Rajapaksa was in Hambantota. He was arrested at the exit gate and was brought to Colombo. Shivers are not running through the spine, jitters down on the spine of the SLPP at the moment as to what's going to happen to the party leadership. Have you decided on a next tier leader for the SLPP if Namal Rajapaksa is indicted and found guilty of the allegations that have been levelled?
No, this is not something we didn't expect. No, this is exactly what we knew. We knew when this government comes to power, they are going to run the propaganda on revenge. That is something they told even before the election. That is the platform they are running their political narrative at the moment to show their inability to govern the country. So this is not something new. This is not something we didn't expect politically. So as expected, so Namal Rajapaksa has become the only political show at the moment. I mean, it looks like he is the only one this government can call to CID or police or anywhere else. Every week he has been called somewhere to give some statement, and after a few hours he comes out, give a statement and go home. That has become the show of the week now. I think that has become a part and parcel of our political life also. So we, before putting any meeting in the party now, we ask from Namal, so when is your next CID date, or when is police has called you to come to somewhere to give a statement. So that has become a political show of statements now, and unfortunately, so one thing we all in this country, I think, me being a citizen of this country, I still trust 100%. I trust the rule of law of this country. I trust the judges, I trust the court procedures, I trust the rule of law of this country. So I expect nothing politically will influence the judiciary of this country. But I know most of the other departments have to play according to what the government ministers, their big bosses or the president has to say. So I think we went through this in 2015. I was part of this victimization because we were in the National Youth Services Council until 2015. I have been going to all these places, to CID, to FCID. At that time there was a special commission which was in BMICH, then to the bribery commission. We have been to all these places, given hours long statements, written pages long answers to questions, and nothing had happened because all of these were politically motivated entertainments.
Yeah, but Milinda, if you look at it, now you're saying you can trust on the rural law of the country. But there was a time on Milinda Rajapaksa, there was many issues. Now, Shirani Bandaranayake was impeached. Mohan Piris was appointed as Chief Justice. In 2015, when the Hapalne government came into play, they rectified this problem and arrested this issue and went back to the status quo that was prevalent when Shirani Bandaranayake was there. So are you not even satisfied, at least the rule of law in the country is now on the right track under the NPP government?
No, I think always in this country for few decades which I have lived, I have never doubted the rule of law of this country. But always I have doubted the intentions of the politicians. That I have always doubted, and that doubt remains with my feelings and my knowledge always, no matter who is leading the country. That's how the power works. So that is why we have always fought. We can't correct people, we can't correct Rajapakshas, we can't correct Disanayakas, we can't correct Vikramasinghes. What we can correct is the system. So that is what I have been fighting as a young politician always.
Yeah, so Milinda, you're a young politician. You came from the lower ranks. Anyone who looks at you won't say Milinda was born with a silver spoon or a gold spoon in his mouth.
Not even a plastic spoon.
Not even a plastic spoon, right?
But not even Rajapaksha,
No, but
that's all I got.
But Yoshida Rajapaksa's incident that was in court recently, it was revealed by the Attorney General that his salary was 76,000 rupees when he was a naval officer. He has not even touched Milinda for 12 years. How did he live like that?
Good question.
Whose money?
Good question.
Whose money?
Good question. I don't know. How would I know? I never go out.
You all
No,
know.
Yoshida Rajapaksa is
Not
my leader.
Yoshida Rajapaksa,
Yeah.
Mahinda Rajapaksa's son.
Yeah, that
You know the relationship, right?
Yeah, I know.
You know he has three sons, right? You know he has three sons.
I knew from the day I knew Mahinda Rajapaksa that
He has three sons, right?
Three
Well,
sons.
you are closely working with Namal, but
Yeah.
I don't know whether you know Yoshida Rajapaksa and the younger son also. There are three sons who went to St. Thomas's, and one of the sons did not even touch his salary for 12 years. How did he live?
No idea, brother. No idea. That they all have to sort it out. I can answer all the political questions related to Mahinda Rajapaksha to Namal Rajapaksha, and I can debate on any political matter, any ideological matter. I can't defend or I can't argue on their private matters, salary matters.
This corruption ring a
that's
bell.
not in my purview.
But this corruption ring a bell somewhere in your ears.
If it is a corruption, I have always told this openly.
But you can talk on behalf of Mahinda Rajapaksa, right?
Yeah.
All right.
The political matters.
But do you know?
I can't talk on behalf of his family matters, love matters.
No, you don't have. You don't have.
That I can't.
No,
I can't defend.
I assure you, Milinda, we are not going to ask him about his love affairs or whatever it is. I'm only going to ask you related to politics. Did you know that his personal secretary took money from Mahinda Rajapaksa's account worth millions? Now you will ask me who that person is. I'll tell you, WGM Lukubandara's son.
Good friend of mine, Udita.
You know him, right?
Yeah,
so
good boy.
He took millions from Mahinda Rajapaksa's account as a president, and President Mahinda Rajapaksa didn't know. How did that happen? Now, Yoshida Rajapaksa, okay, I understand.
Yeah.
You're not a close friend, Milinda.
No.
But Mahinda, you will know. Mahinda Rajapaksa, former president who
not
eradicated.
not a friend like Namal Rajapaksa.
Yeah, but who eradicated
he has been our leader.
I have seen you many times with him.
We have been ideologically following him,
but you should
defending
ask
his
him,
ideology.
How come, H.E., you did not realize when someone was robbing you, how come you didn't check that bank account for that money? How did they live such a luxurious life?
No, good question. That never came to my mind to ask him why every morning you wake up and check your bank account. That never came to my mind. I think when I meet him next week, I will ask, why don't you every day, do you check every morning your bank account? I'm sorry.
Every month I check.
Every month you check when the
salary comes, I check what my balance is.
Yeah, I don't check. It comes as a text message to my phone.
Yeah.
But I will ask that. That is a good question.
Because you know why? Because if so, how did he live? Tell me, will you? Whose money did he use?
No, I don't know. That time he was.
No, Yoshida Rajapaksa don't answer.
Yeah,
don't even
ask. I think that time he was when this incident was happening, we were in the opposition. This incident happened, I think towards the latter part of the opposition.
From my bank account, if someone takes 100 rupees, Milinda, I would know. But from a bank account that has billions, let's say, if you take around 4 to 5 million, you wouldn't feel it.
You think he might have billions in his
I
bank
don't know.
account?
I'm asking you.
No, that's
all the followers.
No, I started wondering now whether he has because first I thought the money is in Uganda, but then now that has been cleared. Money is not in Uganda, and then someone the campaign, the propaganda of NPP were telling for a long time that there was the $18 billion or something has gone out. I think now that is also cleared. Everyone know that that amount of money has not gone out of the country. But now this is a new good speculation that Mahinda Rajapaksha has billions in his bank account.
I'm not saying, I'm asking you. Does he have billions in his bank account?
I don't know. I mean, I can tell you exactly the amount of money I
That
have
you
in
have,
my bank
yeah.
account. That's,
So
because that is a small amount.
So one of the allegations leveled by the NPP is that Mahinda Rajapaksa is living in a football state.
The house, the size of the land is a football ground.
You have gone there a couple of times, right?
100 times.
Is it big as that? 30,000 square feet?
Football ground is 30,000 square feet.
No, I'm asking you.
I recently.
Big as 30,000 square feet?
No, I don't think.
But there's a lift, right? There's a lift.
To the upper floor.
Yeah, first floor.
Yeah. This is not a big thing in Colombo houses, no? Having a lift in, so that is a government house. So after Mahinda Rajapaksha, someone else will live there and will have the access to the lift. No, that is a government property.
Yeah, before Mahinda Rajapaksa, Lakshman Kadrigam was there. He didn't, Maithripal Sirisena was also there. Before that, Lakshman Kadrigam has occupied that house. But they both didn't want a lift.
Probably they didn't want to have a lift. Probably they could go upstairs easily, and there might be recommendations from the doctors or someone to have a lift. That's possible, no?
But that's not waste of public money.
No, Mahinda Rajapaksa is not going to take and go when he goes to Tangalla or when he goes to Medamulana. So that will be there for anyone else to come, like Lakshman Kadrigam and Maithripala Sirisena were there. Probably when one of them become the next ministers or the prime ministers or the president might occupy that house, and they will have the access to the same house. No one is going to take it and run away.
The lift I will pay with my own money. Yeah?
Why?
Huh?
Why?
No, because you shouldn't be using public money for a lift for yourself. No, because here's a good example.
No, why?
Mr. Mangala Samaravira.
Okay.
Right? He put a lift at T20, no?
Yeah.
T20, he put a lift.
Yeah. Why did he put the lift?
Personal money.
No, why did he put the lift?
For his mother. Yeah. Yeah, but from personal money. There is no problem.
Mangala has given a good example because he was very open about putting the lift. He put it for his mother. So he put his personal money. I would appreciate that. But Mahinda Rajapaksha, former president of this country, as he said, it's what you call what is the right English word? It's the
privilege?
Not the privilege. It's not the act. What is the act name? That act has the right name in the
presidential privileges, 1986.
Huh?
Privileges.
Former presidential privileges, 1986.
Okay. So it's a privilege he had. No, the name is the Entitlement Act.
No, but this is
not the Privilege Act.
But 1986.
Yeah. So the act name is the Entitlement Act, not the Privilege Act. So it's an entitlement he had, and like any other presidents who had that entitlement, and any other future presidents will have that entitlement, unless otherwise we change it.
Right.
And the NPP government has a right to change it. They have a 2/3 majority in the government. So if they want to change it in the parliament, they can change it. No problem.
Thanks a lot, Milinda, for your thoughts. So I go for a short commercial break. When we come, we open the floor for questions from Niresh as well, from eminent panelists. Stay connected, stay with Face the Nation. We will be right back. TV1, TV for life. Welcome back. This is Face the Nation. So I open the floor for questions from my colleague Niresh Elithambi. But Niresh, with your permission, I'm just going to ask Chandima a question about this 30,000 square feet house and the justification given by Milinda. Now, Milinda in some sense makes sense. He's saying that this is a president's entitlement. And if you all have a problem with the house, why don't you all send an eviction notice to President Mahinda Rajapaksa? Why don't you all do that, tell me?
No, if you want to change it.
No, don't change it. Why can't you all send an eviction notice to President Mahinda Rajapaksa to vacate the house? And you all have 159 members. Overnight, bring a bill and change this entitlement act, will you?
No, there are ways to do things, right? So,
How so?
President appointed this committee to find out how to change these things. So you want us to
When is this committee report coming?
No, just tell me. You just want us to throw His Excellency Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa.
Then why make a fuss about it?
No, you want us to throw him
where?
away in very bad manner. So I don't believe in that. Our government don't believe in the way.
No, throw him where? I'm asking.
Throwing out of this house.
No, but Anuradha Dissanayake said no. He has a house in Madamulana.
Yes, no.
If he wants, he can
That's
go
true.
there. Then he said that
That's true.
Nama Rajapaksa can look after the
those are true.
father.
So
why are you
questioning
worried
the
about Mahinda
morality.
Rajapaksa?
We are questioning the morality, not the legality. But here, so
So are you all going to give him a house?
It should be, no?
So
it should be.
When are you all going
It
to
should
give
be. It should be. After the committee, after the completing this committee report and after the study, it will definitely.
I'm just going to ask you, Chandima, a very simple question, right? In your opinion, now you're not let's say you're not a NPP politician, a former JP member now. Just take that hat off for a second. Think as a general public's perspective, will you?
Okay.
You finished the war in the country, right? You are instrumental in finishing the war. Now, this is Chandima Hettiarachchi who has been instrumental in finishing the war in the country. Then you have security threats. Your number of security personnel from 300 or 600 or whatever is brought down to 60. Okay? And then you are told to evict your house also on top of that. That has been given to you by the previous government. How would you feel?
I will be a very proud man if I'm the one who
Finish the war.
And I'll be definitely a proud man. Then I will, as a president who finished this war, the security will be okay throughout my period and even after that. So, as a proud president who finished this war, so I just don't use those things. I just don't use those things. Those special secretaries. I'm a proud man now. I'm the survivor of the.
I have to jump in with that. I am not a big Mahinda Rajapaksa fan. I'm not a fan at all, right? And I have been very critical of him and his government and his family and everything. But what this government did by removing his security was morally and it was basically wrong, right? I think it's because either they are facing pressure from the let's say pro LTT diaspora. They just wanted to make them happy or somebody happy, or they have no clue about security, because there are still fractions living abroad and even in this country that actually hates the Rajapaksas because they finished the war. There is another group that hates them for the corruption that they committed, but there is a group like that. Maybe they don't know about this, right? Like they have lost the grip on public security. They have no idea. Maybe it's because of that. There are a lot of fractions that would like to see them dead. And understand this, if anything happens to that man, there can be another war can start in this country. So that is totally wrong. And removing that security is not good. And you can see this even inside your parliament, right? So people that actually, there's a parliament member that supported you, right? And he seems to love the attention, right? And a joke like that doing something to this man will spark another racial war. Mark my words.
even Milinda got confused with that.
No, no. I
No,
mean,
let me answer that. No, let me answer that. For the question, let me answer that.
I keep hearing, very little interruption. One thing I keep hearing from the actual opposition of this country, SJB, UNP, many people who are not ideologically supporting Mahinda Rajapaksha, our political party, who have never been with politically aligned with our ideas or the political propaganda we have done, have very clearly told us the same thing what Anuradha said, that when it comes to Mahinda Rajapaksha's security, that is actually a national security matter in this country, because that man finished the war and the Security Council has given him the detail which required to protect him as a national leader. And we all know how the national security works in this country today. This is a country where in the courtroom the man who has the witness protection got killed in front of everyone's eyes, and we know how in many parts of the world still the separatist LTT propaganda and the mandate works. And we also went through another extreme terrorist attack few years ago called the Easter Sunday attack. So anything is possible in this country, and whether people, even the people rejected him in elections, respected him for what he did. So that grievance, that idea of respecting him for what he did is still in the society.
So Chandima, if this is a big issue, now I remember this was this very infamous speech that was made by Anuradha Wimalaratne saying, "Abhi hatakarat adu kara, tava kendri gaya ho, tawat adu karana." Now, that's a bit too a problematic statement, no? Because we had Lakmali Hemachandra on the show, and she said that even she doesn't condone such a statement.
But he had to tell that, because he did that before going to North, because just before his North trip, he had to tell that. So we know where the pressure is coming from, looking at that statement.
So you can see the SJB and the SLPP also aligning now. With this.
No, we are not aligning. I am not in favor of Mahinda Rajapaksa.
Aligning in the same.
I don't want another war starting in this country because of some stupid decisions
politically. So I think the adequate security
politicians are taking.
Adequate security is given.
So when will this committee? You said that there is a committee that is appointed to look into the privileges of former presidents. When will this committee submit its report? And when will the letter sent to Mahinda Rajapaksa to vacate the house?
As soon as they're done, they will submit the report. I can say exactly when will be the date. So as soon as they will.
So all now, coconut, you don't know.
I'm not saying I don't know. So I can say it because the proceedings are going on. So how
go for another 3 to 5 years?
It's obvious that rules need to be changed.
You all have 100 members in parliament, you are one of them.
So I said, we can't just do it. We can't throw him away where he lives now. It is not suitable, doing such thing for any person.
Right.
Samir, I have a small different view on this.
I'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Just a big quick question. Now, Mahinda Rajapaksa is staying at a house at a cost of 4.5 million from the government analyst. What about the central bank governor's house? He is staying on Gregory Road. If you went to bank house on that road, that probably must be worth more than that house. So
on Bauddha Lokamavata.
So haven't you all looked at that?
You mean the sitting governor, right?
Yeah, sitting governor.
Any governor goes to that house.
House. So anyway, the sitting governor is there now.
So haven't a look at these privileges?
Yes, if you have seen that we have removed, we have proposed to use the minister bungalows for some.
No, I'm asking the governor.
No. Let me tell you. Yeah. So we have considered those things. So first, the politicians must be given this chance to see how we are going to rule this country, how we are going to behave. with the public properties and public money. So that's what we are focusing right now.
So after that,
later
after
we
that,
can
we start with
consider,
the governor and the security forces commanders.
Yes, we can
like
later.
Chief
later
Justice
consider
has
those
a
things.
nice house.
Speaker has an awesome house. It's an island.
So
Probably
unnecessary expenses will be
Colombo
considered.
May has a nice house.
Very nice one.
Yeah.
Yes. I
So all
think-
those will be removed.
Yes, we have to consider those things
No,
unnecessary.
is it going to happen? Because
That's what I said.
rather
So
than pointing the finger at one person, are you looking at this in a holistic view,
yeah,
equal side
holistic view. Yeah, that's what we have done with the ministerial bungalows. So these things will take place later.
So now no minister from the NPP is staying
No.
at a
No.
official house.
No.
Where is the president staying now?
He is not staying at any official residence.
The speaker?
No, not
The speaker is at the speaker house.
No.
No, I asked from former speaker's family who took over the new speaker's house. They said the new speaker came to the speaker house.
Maybe for official visits. Even this temple trees are using for official matters. So, but we are not
but-
living there.
Samir, I just want to
Yeah,
comment,
yeah,
right?
yes, sorry.
My point is, this government still couldn't identify what are the priorities, right? Yes, of course, yeah. If you want to reduce their
Have you all-
houses,
have-
the
have
other
you
things,
all
right?
the-
So, but people
Have you
have
all-
to address the
Throughout the
what
history,
the people's
identify the priorities.
I mean, urgent needs. You know, as you mentioned, the cost of living or whatever other things. What I'm trying to say is, now there are some former presidents, they didn't live in official residences at all.
Yeah,
B.B. Wijetunga, J.R. Jayawardena, I mean, after the office, right? And even Ranil Wickremesinghe. So, I mean, that is their choice. I mean, if you have been given, it's fine. If you are not taking, it's fine.
Ryan
But
Wickremesinghe has a nice house on
yeah,
Pit Lane.
wait. Yeah, his own house.
Yeah.
It's
Beautiful
burned
house.
by the, I don't know, so-called somebody, right? But still rebuilt, and he went into that house
Rebuilt by the
back.
public money, huh?
Huh?
Rebuilt by
He
the
didn't use the public money.
To rebuild it, he
No,
used it.
you can tell anywhere I say the public money. He didn't take any single penny from the public to rebuild his house. He built his own house and he went to his house during his.
How much was the cost to rebuild it?
I don't know. How can I ask him how much you paid for your rebuild?
Only he
Right?
gave it.
But give me
He
a second.
gave it.
No,
Gave
I'm
away.
trying
No?
to say security. Yes, we have to give some sort of security for president. But so like that's what I'm saying now. Probably Mahinda Rajapaksa may have not a place to go, but you can't. As the all really did against the His Excellency President, he made the comment he made. Yanna and the security do nothing. Those are, I mean, that's very, we disagree. Yeah, exactly. That's why I would say some, their option, I mean, some can stay in the official residence, some can go to their own house.
Right. Chandima, I'd like to get back to this incident of Ganemulla Sanjeeva. And, you know, it doesn't matter to the general public whether it's national security or public security, it is the security of the public. So, we have many intelligence agencies in this country. Apart from the state intelligence service, we have military intelligence, navy intelligence, army intelligence, police every police station has an intelligence unit. The fact that none of these intelligence units knew that an attack was going to happen in Hulsdorf, an attack by anyone going to happen in Hulsdorf, whether it's a lone gunman or a bomb or whatever, it's a real failure of intelligence. And believe me, I covered the war for more than 20 years. I know a lot about this so-called game of intelligence. How it's mind-boggling that all these intelligence agencies were unaware that such an attack was going to happen, which either they didn't know, which is a failure of intelligence, or they knew and didn't act, which is even worse. But let's give the benefit of the doubt and say they didn't know. Now, something has to be done about that. Yeah. And this is not about one shooting or Ganemulla Sanjeeva or whether it's national security or public security. This is the fact that Hulsdorf was attacked and nobody knew it was going to happen, even though anybody could have, you know, projected that this is likely to happen.
How did something
How
like
did
the
this
Italian
happen?
job happen?
Exactly. I mean, this is not a movie. It should not have happened,
And
right?
orchestrated by
And
a
then he gets on a
25-year-old
bus
girl.
and goes all the way to Putlam. Unfortunately, he was grabbed there. But what I'm saying is, somebody, there needs to be a rethink of our intelligence. That's where the investigation should be. What happened? How did it fail? Because we know that there was a massive failure with the Easter bombings, right, where intelligence knew about it and didn't act. But in this case, what is the situation? Is there an investigation into our intelligence agencies?
There's nothing that I couldn't agree with you. So, yeah, that's why we have taken this very seriously, very seriously. So, inquiries are going on. So, soon, there are some police officers taken into custody, they are questioning, there are so many things happening.
No,
So,
that's the gang.
no.
That's it.
Yeah,
That is
that's
the gang.
true.
I'm talking about
Okay.
how was intelligence blindsided on this? Because we are a blessed country. There are some countries which have a dozen borders, right? They have to watch a dozen other governments and militaries. Those are and half those may be against your country. Here we don't have any such issue. We just have India to our north. That's it, right? So our intelligence focus is internal, has always been internal. So how did this fail?
Yeah, that's
And I'm not blaming the NPP government or Anuradha Dissanayake, the president, because it's not their job to be doing this intelligence gathering. But the control of such agencies has to be taken in hand.
yeah, I'm not taking this as a criticism, so I'm taking it as a constructive one. So that's why I said inquiries are going on. So we have to look into this. We must look into this. So as you said, they should have identified and they should have indicated.
Well, how competent are you? Because if you looked at it, Chandima, even your deputy minister was struggling to find his driver and his vehicle at the court complex when this incident took place. So now the competence and the experience of the members of parliament of the NPP is coming into play. Because after an incident of that sort happens, can you have the deputy minister walking around the court complex finding his driver?
And in fact, the lack of security for
And
the
calling him the
deputy
donkey.
minister
That I-
of public security, he shouldn't be walking around at that point, right? He is the deputy minister of public security. So again,
how
a
would it-
failure in guarding, right? Which it doesn't matter if the deputy minister says, I don't want bodyguards. It's a matter that
But the
he
state-
is the deputy minister of
Minister.
public security and therefore he might be a target. Right? You
where
have to
was his
assume that.
security?
And therefore, where was his security?
Yeah.
He shouldn't have been walking up and down like that.
And then Milinda said, what donkey said?
No, he was calling his driver donkey.
I didn't hear that.
Probably you may right, but you may have seen Cabinet Minister Harshanananakar was appearing at the scene. So, as a government, we do not think this is a national security threat.
What do you all
And
think this is?
This is a crime. This is a criminal incident took place in the court premises. So, as a deputy public secretary minister, he wanted to get involved in first hand. That's why he was here. He was there.
Tell me, the deputy minister, why was he searching the vehicle?
Sorry.
Why was he searching the vehicle
It was
in a crime
chaotic-
scene?
It was a chaotic situation. No. So anyone could be confused. So it's a,
So the deputy minister was confused.
so he was.
Or the driver
he
was confused.
He was searching for his vehicle. So
He was confused.
he was searching for the driver and the vehicle. Driver wasn't there. It's a chaotic situation. It's a very chaos situation. So driver didn't expect such thing. So, and minister didn't expect such thing.
We leave the public to
Yeah, that's
come
true.
into a
That's a natural
conclusion,
thing
Chandra,
happen.
because we don't want to make an opinion
I don't want to
be
cover up
biased.
anything. So it's a natural thing
Just
happen.
one more question here on that,
Yes.
Shamir. Now, according to the acting IGP, there are 57 gangs in Sri Lanka which are operating. Can I put it to you that if there are 57 gangs, which we can't doubt the acting IGP, if that is so, that is our major threat to this country, especially because these are drug gangs, they have weapons, and also there seems to be quite a leak of T-56 and other weapons coming out of the military, which your government has spoken about. So therefore, that is the major threat to security in this country.
So
would you agree with that?
That's what I said. That's what I said previously. So we never take this as a very light incident. We have taken it seriously. So we are working on it. So we have to and we must.
Right. One question on this subject, and then we move on to another subject. Chandra, I'm very sorry, Chandra. I'm not going to ask any questions on the books that you brought today. Usually, when I see the books, I don't ask questions on the books. But anyway, I'm just kidding. Chandra, I just want to understand, Chandima. What is the difference between national security and public security?
The national security actually is about the borders, the sovereignty, threats from the outside, invading countries. Those are the national security issues. Internal crimes, cyber threats, so many other things within the country. Those are very...
Those are national security?
No, those are public security.
So, when LTT attacked Sri Lanka, what was that?
It was a terrorism, it's a national security threat.
Because whatever happens from the inside also could be dubbed as.
Yeah.
Then
but it's organized, well organized. It's a well organized terrorism group.
Yeah, but are you familiar with the term narco-terrorism? This is a term which has been around for 30-40 years because narcotics gangs are very much related with terrorism. Not all of them, of course, some just sell drugs, but these, around the world, narco-terrorism is one and the same thing. So, it needs to be taken much more seriously, these gangs.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah. And
I agree with
that includes the security of the Deputy Minister of Public Security. I'm sorry to say.
Okay.
His security officers should be pulled up for allowing him to be there without proper security at that particular time.
Skirting in the court complex premises.
Where a shooting had happened just a short while before.
Niresh's piece of advice.
Yeah. Since he's expert.
Niresh is an unfortunately, I must say, we are experts in our all subjects. We are journalists. I've been a journalist, with due respect for Niresh. He's been a journalist for 35 years. I've been a journalist for 22 years.
No, he was mentioning about the security.
No, we are experts in our own respects. So anyway, Milinda, how is the relationship between the SLPP and the United States government?
Has been always very good.
Very good, right?
Yeah, we never had a problem.
Is this a Donald Trump question?
In fact, we never had a problem with any government, according to my knowledge.
So no issue, right?
No issue with the US government. I mean, who are we to have a problem with the US government? The first
thing.
Very
small, right?
We are very small, and we are now probably the smallest part in Sri Lanka. So how are we going to have a big problem with the big government?
So then you will be able to answer this next question very clearly and more eloquently, and Milinda. Milinda, right after the US aid issue that cropped up after Elon Musk's statement about Dodge playing a big role in Sri Lanka to topple respective governments.
Yeah.
The very next day, Julie Chung meets Damal Rajapaksa.
Yeah.
And evidently, I see Milinda Rajapaksa also holding Julie Chung's hand and escorting her out. So when she came inside, you were not in the picture.
No,
but
I was.
But I didn't see you in the meeting.
Yeah, because by the time I was inside the
right.
meeting.
Okay. When she was going out, it was you who was there.
Me and the Secretary General.
Tell me what happened. Will you please?
Inside the meeting.
Inside the meeting. Now you can say no.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So I will tell you two things. Number one, that meeting was scheduled almost 1 month ago, and she was given us few. She requested. So that was a conversation we had because she was visiting all the parties.
And not after Eranda Ginige went and shouted in front of the US Embassy, right?
No. That the
Eranda
meeting
is still with the SLPP?
Yes.
Okay.
And even Sarath Veerasekara, in fact, who was there prominently.
Not after that incident, you all had this meeting, so that's very clear.
That's very clear. We had the meeting in advance scheduled. She's ambassador, and so we have been meeting most of the ambassadors, most of the diplomats, and we have met in fact many visiting US diplomats as a political party.
When was this meeting, Milinda?
When? On the Valentine's Day.
On 14th.
On Valentine's Day.
And after this meeting was over, Sagara Ratnayaka, your Karyavasam, your Secretary General said that this is a routine visit that is undertaken by the US ambassador to meet other political parties also. As a result of that, they met you all first.
Yeah.
But after the 14th of February, on Valentine's Day, after that day, she has not met any political party.
I am not in a position to organize the meeting for others. And anyway, she has, by the time she met us, she had visited all the political party head offices, including NPP head office. We were the only political party office.
Right. Tell us what was the contents of this meeting?
Few things. We discussed about the ongoing political situation. We updated the political harassments we are facing from the government, and we also discussed about the upcoming elections and our plans. Also, we discussed about USAID, the funding and the conversation which is happening in America and in Sri Lanka. And then Namal Rajapaksha had requested from the parliament, he has proposed to have a committee in the parliament to inquire not only the USAID funding but also the other funding coming to Sri Lanka from different agencies, to have an overall look and do a proper audit or the examination in the parliament. This is some sort of parliament consultative committee. We updated about that, and she said they will support whatever the possible way, because they are open to support the parliament.
But are you all of the view that USAID supported other parties during the Aragale to topple the government in power?
No, that is up to different people, have different beliefs on that. And SLPP wants to know the truth. And that truth should come from all the stakeholders.
So
people can
assume displayed in front of the
have a
US Embassy is not the opinion of the SLPP.
Yeah, that we mentioned immediately after the meeting.
Right.
Sagara Karyavasam told media that it was not organized by SLPP. It's organized by a nationalist movement of this country, where some of the SLPP members are also part of, being a democratic political party.
Right. We're now going for a short commercial break. When we come back, we discuss more with the four guests in the studios: Chandima Hettiarachchi, Anuradha Wimalaratne, Milinda Rajapaksa, as well as Dr. Kithsiri Manchanayake. Stay connected. Stay with us. We will be right back.